So, you know what? All right. Why don't we just go ahead and start?
Okay, let's start.
All right. Hello out there.
Hello.
Welcome
Welcome.
to the FtMtF Podcast. This is Jake Alfieri.
Hello.
I am Nikki Jax. And we're no longer smoking.
We will be later, but we're not now.
So we've come up with a few topics that we kind of want to work through. So make sure you kind of stay to the end. And if you haven't watched the other 3 episodes, we basically talk about life from the opposite points of view, from being and
one end
and FTM,
of the
transmale,
spectrum,
transfemale,
other
right.
end of the spectrum.
Right. And we also happen to be of a similar age bracket.
Yes,
which helps a lot.
I
think it does.
I think it helps very much.
So, you know what? Because we were already talking about it. If you, if in the future, because this will be a formal podcast, if you are trans, you already know this bathroom issue.
Right.
But if you are not, you know, probably the biggest issue in trans life is
the bathrooms.
It's the bathroom issue.
Right.
Like everything else you could do.
Yeah,
right? I could go shopping. With all of it. I have. There's no problem with that. But there's this anxiety, inevitably.
Overusing a restroom, a public restroom.
Right.
All
right. Even when you know it's like warranted or not warranted. Unless you're in a gay club, because they're always...
Yeah. They
always,
and most places nowadays that are just starting out, it's unisex.
Yeah.
I mean, in most.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and kudos to Target, by the way. Because Target, I don't know if you know this, that Target, there was a big thing about Target, like, being like, you feel free to use whatever bathroom you
like, right.
Yep.
Right. All right, well, kudos to them, absolutely.
But, so, you were saying that you feel this anxiety...
Yes.
About
going into a men's room in like a rest area where there's a lot of people, all right, in a large group of people that you don't know. You're only going to be in there for 10, 15 minutes, whatever it might be.
Right.
And although, as I was saying, that I've never had a bad experience in the men's room, it's the only thing that being trans that I'm paranoid about is that ending up in a bathroom with a bunch of men that realize that I'm trans, and what will transpire after that.
So I would say, judging from my prior life, right, that men in bathrooms really kind of don't look at each other. It's like a whole thing where you're supposed to
not look.
Yeah, you're not supposed to pay attention to anybody else.
Because that doesn't make any sense, and maybe the reason why that doesn't make any sense to me, and that I have this paranoia about it, is that, and this is no diss against men or anything, but that whole urinal thing where everybody's lined up, you're going to tell me that's not a measurement system? I mean, I feel like I want to see, how they have in the banks where they have the measurement of the height? I'm waiting to see where there's going to be the same thing, but instead of being vertical, it's going to be horizontal, and it's going to be a measuring stick.
Okay, so...
You're laughing, so there must be a story.
No, there's no story, but yeah, it's inevitable, right? That... I mean, there's 1,000 jokes about about a guy has to stand. He's so well endowed that he's got to stand away from from the wall.
Or the one guy is standing there and he's looking.
Right.
He's looking.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so in a men's room, they have what's called the pee spot, which is when you're urinating at a urinal, the pee spot is right ahead of you on the wall. I mean, it's not
right. There's not really a spot there.
But you're supposed to only look at that. Otherwise, it's
you're getting into all kinds of strange areas.
Right.
That nobody wants to talk about.
Right. Exactly.
Especially in a men's room.
Exactly. So, I would say if I I wouldn't worry about it because men.
Yeah, it's gonna be all my.
Yeah, men. There's always I found that it's a marked difference. Men's rooms are always quiet and oppressive,
Maybe you're right.
but now against women's rooms, right? Women. First of all, women's usually. It's either if it's in a club, it's the most
Worst, the most
disgusting.
disgusting. And I've ran clubs
Yeah.
for many, many years, and it's a fact.
It's the most
all right,
disgusting.
the most disgusting
And I don't
of all.
I don't understand how women smile politely and go pee.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Right. That's at the end of the day. You go
Right,
and you
right,
do
right,
your
right.
thing.
Well, but if you're walking into a men's room, especially one of those larger ones, there's the row of urinals, and there's one stall.
Oh yeah.
All right. So now I'm not going to the urinal for obvious reasons.
Right.
All right. I'm going to go to the stall. But now let's say somebody's in there.
Well,
Then I just got to be like.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait. Sadly, when
So that's when I get uncomfortable.
when you gotta wait.
That's when That's when I get uncomfortable. If I can walk straight in and I can go, and again, I've never had a bad experience. I've on the other end when I'm running and I'm there's the ladies' room is there, and I go directly in there. I see the women. Oh, they get that shocked kind of look on their face.
I would too, because
Right.
you read as not femme at all. I very much, I have not really had a problem going
into the ladies' room.
Going to the ladies' room.
I don't think the aggression will be as strong. I don't know why I think that. That if you being in a ladies' room, that maybe somebody blocks you.
No.
And
my problem is if, like, let's say I've been working all day,
Right.
and I'm not exactly presenting very well, and I got no makeup. I'm like, okay, I have to make a self-analysis and go,
yeah, what am I doing?
where am I going to get the least amount of screams?
Okay, so you do that, but you do that same thing that I do. You go and try to figure out.
Normally, however, I go to the women's room,
Right.
and it's not a problem. And I, if I'm presenting particularly femme, it's a lot more fun because they all want to talk about it.
Right.
They I'm trying to remember where I was. It was at the Williamsburg Hotel in Brooklyn, for the LGBT Center's mask ball. And
Well, you were in a group that it was all LGBT.
yeah,
folks.
to begin with,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
I mean, you had a little more cushion there,
right.
so to speak.
Well, remember what we talk about, right? That the
yes.
We're not going to bash them. But,
No.
That there is a difference, gay, lesbian, and trans. It's three different things entirely.
And it's becoming this big gap between it as well, which we both discussed.
Well, yeah, because it's becoming codified.
Yeah. I mean, what happened to the rainbow, including everyone? I mean, we've talked about that. So, but that's interesting that you've had the experience where they want to talk to you about it.
Oh,
in the ladies' room.
Oh yeah, like we'll talk, because inevitably I'm like, ugh. Like I come out of the ladies' room, I go, oi.
Right.
I drop, or I come out of the stall and I go to the mirror and I'm like, ugh. So out comes like the makeup and so now I've got like, my clear makeup bag on the counter. I'm pulling everything out and I'm trying to,
do everything.
do a paint job while I'm there, and it's inevitably there's like some woman that comes up and goes, oh, I had this. Okay, so I had this one time. It was really weird. It wasn't there. It was exactly 1 year ago.
Okay.
At for the launch. It was exactly June 1st. It was like for the launch of Pride somewhere.
Right.
With the Heritage of Pride organization, Heritage of Pride, the people that run the Pride Parade. And so I'm in a stall, and I think Beyonce has... Oh, no, I'm putting on my makeup. And so this young lady of color comes up and says, look, I'm doing my makeup. She's like, we start talking. She's like, you have to try Fenty. Right now, that's Beyonce's product line.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay, so at least I'm pretty sure that's the name. That's the name and everything, right?
Right.
But the it's for undoubtedly tinted for women of color.
Right.
So there's like
For a darker complexion.
Yeah, there's like
Right.
nothing in the tint
Right.
that works with this.
Right.
So that was like a 10-minute conversation. We're like, okay, I'll try it. I swear, I swear. Even though like I really don't agree. But women's room, there's a reason why women go to the bathroom and then it takes them like forever to come back, is because
Right.
we all start talking.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, that is.
But I've never.
I'm happy to be finished with that. I want to go into the bathroom and do what I got to do and leave.
Well,
But I know the girls like to chat.
I'm sad I missed out so much of that life over. I mean, so much of that.
Right. That aspect.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'll definitely just start talking. Like I enjoy it. The other thing now, well, we did say that in the club, the women's bathrooms are
The most disgusting.
disgusting.
The most disgusting.
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. Like toilet paper always overflowing.
All over
right?
the place. The toilets overflowing. Stuff all on the sinks. The water on the floor.
Oh.
All right. The most disgusting.
Urine on the seat.
Yeah,
Which
because they never want to sit down.
Right, they want to squat.
Right, and then it's
squirt.
splashing it all over the place, and then they don't flush the toilet. So that's what we need to ask out there. Can anybody tell us about an experience they had, positive or negative?
Yeah, if you have an experience, write in. Dawn.
Yeah.
You're right, Dawn. A polite smile is a girl's best weapon always.
Yes.
And
That's anybody's best
you don't
weapon,
go pee
I
in a
think.
rest area? That's where I go for half of my dates.
You're wrong.
With a little hole saw.
All right. The glory hole.
No, but I'll always like I have no problem peeing in it's more like when people are one-on-one, they're more apt to talk or say something, but I think when it's a big crowd,
Yes.
it's less likely.
Yes.
It's like I know
Well,
when I was first starting my transition, when I was like super worried about, oh my God, I'm gonna walk down the street in New York City, and everyone's gonna see I'm just like and like look at me and think I'm a weirdo, and then I just sort of realized that like everyone's just like got that life to live, so they're just like
doing their own
going
thing.
in, they're passing by, so the frequency was quite low, and then
Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying. A big part of it, I think, is just what I've created in my own head about it. For me, all right. Like I said, I've never had a bad experience, but I fear nothing else.
let me ask you this: have you ever, have you ever been attacked for any reason, not in a restroom, or
Yes.
for being trans?
No, not for being
okay.
trans. No, I was attacked when I was in college. My first year in college, I worked at a pet store, and the way the entrance way, it went in, then the door was there, and they had windows, like the puppies in the windows and all that kind of stuff. And a guy came in and, started talking to me, and it was clearly he was trying to trap
Push you,
me in
physically.
the corner. I was waiting for the bosses to come. It was early in the morning, all right? And I luckily, because, the police officer that came later said that I was crazy. I should have just done nothing. But I was like, what are you kidding me? But what I did was I backed up just enough to kick.
Ooh, did you get him?
I didn't get him, but he backed up.
He knew.
He
right.
backed up.
Good.
And then he started cursing at me, you
Good for
fucking
you.
bitch, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I don't mean to curse. And then, but it allowed me to get away.
Right.
To run out of that entranceway and get away from him.
Get out.
Right.
Thanks God.
Thank God.
Right.
Absolutely. But the police officer said, you're crazy. If he had a knife or a gun, he would have killed you. No, so I should just lay there and let him rape me. I mean, that doesn't, but that's, what kind of a response is that?
That makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, by the way, Dawn, so Dawn wrote here, me neither, never an issue. So the person who's writing for posterity is Dawn Melody, my friend, amazing jazz singer, amazing cook, makes a killer pie. But you are also beautiful and always well put together. I am never well put together.
That's not true.
If you look at me like right now, my hair.
Okay, but that's not true that you're never well put together.
Well,
I'm gonna say no to that.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I like that. This is what I want.
Yeah. Yes, because you are put together. All right. I understand what you're saying about, when you're on a job and whatever, maybe
Right.
you got the cap on turned around, or
Right.
anybody. Hey, listen, I can tell you a quick story about when I used to go and bring my artwork to art shows. I would have the same thing, the hat turned around, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
I would show up for the opening, and they didn't know who I was.
Right.
It's like, it's me. I'm the artist.
Hi. Yeah. Yeah.
But they saw me earlier, and I didn't look like that.
Of course.
All right, so they didn't. So, but that's not true.
I think that's very nice of you. Thank you. I except for again, to prove my point right now, my hair is not cooperating. It's a mess.
That's long hair.
You had long hair.
I had long hair, and I had it for so long, and I hated it.
I love my long hair.
And I hated it.
I
always
love all the work.
had it. No, it's too much work, and I always had mine pulled back. So what was the point of having long hair? It was always in the hairband. In fact, I just saw one on the floor.
Oh, I probably have like 20.
You probably do, but these are the kind of things that.
Yeah, I have like
used to have
5
all
of
the
them
time, too.
on my keychain just for emergency.
Because you can't work with it. You can't work with it. It's beautiful when it's down,
Right.
but
Well, I don't.
you
It's
can't
just
work
about
with it.
pulling it back and then just like getting that ballet receding hairline.
Which is horrible, and it happens. I mean, it happened to me too. You get it.
Yours look. You're.
Well,
you have a
My hair is
amazing
getting
set of
better.
hair.
I told you that because last time we sat and chatted, I was telling you that testosterone made my hair better.
So, company that was a minoxidil, Rogaine, whoever it is, there's an opportunity here for you.
I'll have the name next week for you.
Give us a call.
I'm gonna have the package.
You should. We have lots of people in our spectrum that would love
That
your
would
product.
be insane for it.
That's right.
Okay, I don't think you guys are getting enough play in the trans world, and you're gonna be loving us. Very soon, you're gonna be loving us.
We're coming out, kids. Guns a blazing. That was Pacino
Oh,
in The Devil's Advocate.
Okay. I like that movie actually.
That was an amazing movie, right?
Yeah, it was a good movie.
We're coming out. Guns a blazing. The law puts us everywhere. Take the subway. Keep your nose to the ground. Sorry.
We're not gonna get off on the Brad Pitt again. All right, we're not gonna do that.
No, yeah, listen, Brad Pitt, love him, but Pacino, that's
I mean,
like
come on.
every line is.
And he played too. I mean, he played in what is that, Dog Day Afternoon?
Oh yeah,
He was there robbing the bank so his partner could get his operation.
that's right. Hey,
That's what the whole movie's about. Him going, right?
that's right. I forgot all
He
about. I
also
haven't
was
thought about
in.
that.
He was also in. What's the other one that was always got? Cruising.
I
He
didn't
was
see that.
also in Cruising, where he plays a police officer
Cruising.
that goes undercover in a gay bar. All right, to try to find the gay men are getting killed, so they put an and he's the undercover cop that goes in Cruising. That whole movie where they have him in the alley.
I
You
did
never
not see
saw-
the movie.
Oh my God,
I'm
I
gonna
can't
have to go
believe it.
see
You
it.
have to see it. You have to see it. It's you have to.
White owls clogging the toilet. I don't know what that means,
Yeah, I
honey.
don't know what that means either.
White paper towel. Anywho, by the way, if you're just joining us, please, if you give us a shout in the comments. We're watching the comments live,
Right.
and we'd love if you have any questions for two people from the opposite sides, from the spectrum. We'll be happy to answer them.
Yes, we would.
Send us your questions. Makes it much more interesting.
Yes.
So now you were talking about people like dying, death, and whatnot, which is so sadly, like this past week, because of something with the coronavirus in Puerto Rico, two transgender women.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that just happened like last week. So it's like this year there's been 10 transgender women, murdered straight up based on hate crime.
And you just said that was in Puerto Rico? Is that what you
That
said?
was in Puerto Rico.
That was
yeah.
in Puerto Rico. But the other incidents were, do you know where they were?
I don't
No.
remember. I think it's 10 just in the U.S.
Okay.
total, including Puerto Rico.
Well, it's 10 too many.
Yeah.
But I don't know one that was injured in that way or dead. Thank God, I don't know anybody that was killed.
You know
And,
what?
under those circumstances,
don't-
because they were trans.
I don't either. What's the curious statistic that I've read is that most trans women who are killed, first of all, are POC. They're people of color. They're black.
Right. Okay.
Or black Hispanic.
Right.
And that also, most of the time, it's a loved one. It's like their boyfriend.
Like they know, right? It's the person they know. That's interesting. That's very interesting, though.
Yeah.
That's not about
Now,
necessarily being trans.
right.
That's about something else.
Exactly.
I mean, if somebody in your life tries to take your life, I mean, it's got to be some deep-seated shit. Excuse my expression.
No,
but it's going to have to be something,
There's
down
this. There's this. I think that it's I don't know. I think a couple of different things. Number one is it could be that I'm just going to speak as trans female.
Right, exactly.
So and I really don't know, and I want to hear from you, like
Right.
what the trans male experience is like. That there is something about being less than human,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And there's something about it being a lie.
Okay, well, but that all stems from ignorance.
Sure.
All right.
But imagine, like, you are in a relationship with somebody who obviously, knows who you are.
I would think so.
Right? Knows
if
the
you're in a
equipment.
relationship with them.
Right. Who knows the... Excuse me. I was cooking with a lot of garlic earlier. Knows the...
That's got to be Grace on there popping up all over the place now.
No. That's all Dawn.
Okay, that's-
Dawn,
okay.
I love it.
Right.
Unwanted male attention. Yes. I've never had unwanted male attention. Let me tell you.
Well, as far as it being, it generally being, women of color, that's out there every day, all day long.
Right.
I mean, the trans thing is added on top of it, but, you go to the news every single day and more people of color are being murdered.
Yeah.
All right, whether
In
they're
general.
men or in general.
Right.
Another
Gay,
woman
straight,
just
cis,
heard
yeah.
about today on the news. Another, I don't know where it was, but shot by, again, the police in her apartment.
Mm.
All right,
In the
this
Bronx?
one guy, no,
Was it
not
New
in the
York?
Bronx. It was somewhere else. I would have to go back and look and see. I get so upset
It's like the case with that young
with
man
that
that
young
was
man,
jogging.
right? What they're still trying to say that he was robbing these guys.
They had,
thought
like,
it
that
was a
video.
robbery, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's so...
And the guy was jogging. It
Right.
was ridiculous, and they chased him for like 2 miles in their truck.
Right.
All right, so what was he doing? Carrying the silverware in his Nikes?
He had like
I
a
mean,
white
what was it?
T-shirt. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's...
So I mean that's a sad state of affairs in our society, always. That these people, like you were saying, they're considered less than human.
right.
All right, and then you add being transgender on it. I mean that's something that most people
you know
can't
what?
comprehend.
I never added those two together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because...
So then it's that it's already that stigma is already there for people of color, which is horrific that it still goes on and in such a large amount.
Right.
In 2020.
Except that it's only in certain places. It really is only in certain places, as I see it.
Okay, well you mean like down south?
Basically,
Right.
Basically,
I think you definitely hear more of the cases in that respect, in that arena.
But I feel like up in
Absolutely.
New York, we don't have this problem, right? And we tend to call people, like African American and people of color, POC, like these are all like new terms.
Right.
But
Well,
in
the
New
PC,
York,
yeah.
I think we still say, hey, He's Cuban. He's
Right,
Dominican.
right.
He's black.
Well,
he's Chinese. You
and
know.
I think people that live in New York have, I don't want to, because that's going to sound really nasty, a higher intelligence, but I think they're well-rounded.
We're more familiar with
right,
it.
in in
you
other
come-
cultures
you come
and
across
other
it every day.
beliefs and other because if you live here, you're gonna see it every
Right.
day, all day. I
Right.
mean, you're not there's not just one type of person here.
Right, of course,
You
yeah.
know, they're-
It's the most non-homogenized
Exactly.
society is living in
Exactly.
New York,
Yeah.
and
Which this is one of the I think you love it here. I love
Oh my
it
God,
here. I mean, I wouldn't right now, especially right now too.
and so well, I gotta be honest. I really liked New York in the '80s.
Well, no, me too. Well, we've had this conversation many times.
New York in the '80s is
All right,
way
come
different.
on. And the
But
80s
this is
and the
why I
90s.
like. This is why I think we both like the Bronx, where we're at.
I agree.
Coming at you from the boogie down. Whoop.
This is the Bronx sign.
Oh, a white owl is a tampon. I've never heard of that.
Me neither.
I don't use them, so.
I've used them, and I've never heard that before. Very interesting.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you. We're always learning something
Yeah,
here. I
thank you.
love
See,
that.
Don, you have to.
I love that.
We'll be doing this next Tuesday, and if you ever want to come on,
Yes,
please
you have to come on.
join us. Wait till you meet her. She's just
I do.
gorgeous. It's beautiful.
So far,
big,
all of
and
Nikki's
lovely
friends have been lovely.
Thank you. No, she's Dawn Melody is very special. When if please follow her to all our followers. Look up Dawn Melody. She'll be doing some jazz thing somewhere once all this.
Great name.
I know, it's great, right? I think it was like named after her grandmother.
Great name.
I know you couldn't fix that.
No.
You
It's
couldn't
like
pay for
Randy
that.
Rainbow. That's really his name.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Really?
He's really Randy Rainbow.
Amazing.
Amazing, isn't that amazing? Which I
That
know
can't
you
be
guys.
right. That can't be
He seemed like he was telling the truth.
like
He was a little boy, and they show pictures of him in a video, and he's got the little rainbow painted on his face.
that's got to
Who is
be
it?
an adopted moniker, Randy Rainbow.
I thought so too, but he said it's really his name. I saw him being interviewed,
Well,
but anyway.
is what it is. So, but now we were talking about like being in the Bronx. Like, so one of the reasons I love being in the Bronx is it still has sort of that old
Yes, it has that
gritty
yes, that feel.
flavor.
It has soul. There's soul here.
And then you walk along, and then you see, in this area a lot of Dominicans. You got the Mexicans. You got Puerto Ricans. I always tell everybody. So, this is kind of fun. They say, it's an industrial area, and the weekends are quiet, except when the weather's good, because then the Puerto Ricans all go under 140th Street, under the bridge, and they're very well organized. They got porta potties, they got
everything.
like generators, they're having a good old time. They don't bother nobody.
They
Nobody
do it
bothers
down
them.
here too.
Well, those are the Dominicans, the ones that
okay.
go down at the
See,
end
I
of
don't.
132nd
Yeah,
Street.
you can determine the. They're all just.
Well, the under 140th Street, you can't mistake that they're Puerto Ricans,
Oh, right.
because they have the flags. They've got. They're playing all salsa, fanyal stuff. They're playing.
Well, even just right here in this neighborhood, one of the things I love about it, too, is that, like, in this nice weather, even with people being, staying at home, you go outside, there's music.
Yeah.
There's music. It's a couple of blocks over there, one type. There's
But you
a couple
hear
of
it,
blocks over
right.
there, but you hear it.
It's coming out over the air.
It comes out, and even we can hear when they're having the concerts at Randall's Island.
Right.
You can hear if the wind's blowing in the right
Right.
way. You can hear the music coming from there.
And right down from here is Bronx Brewing, and they've got their backyard. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Most people usually do know their murderer.
That's true.
Even in general, right?
That's true. Absolutely.
But we're saying the Bronx Brewing is right down the street. But that's an aspect of New York that we seem to have
Right.
lost.
We totally lost it in Manhattan. It's gone.
Yeah, the
All right,
village
it doesn't exist anymore.
there's no flavor.
It's gone. There's a little bit still left in the Lower East Side.
Where?
But it's true. It's not even. Yeah, well, they're starting to move the gal. But when I came here, now it's going on 11 years to the Bronx. I felt immediately at home here.
Yeah.
Because of there's many different types of people.
Right.
All right. There's all different, and I'm not saying that that everybody's hanging out with one another, but it seems like everybody lives and lets live.
Yeah. You
All
do,
right?
do you, honey.
Yeah,
you do you.
and nobody. I don't see it. And I've been here like going on 11 years, and I've never had a problem here in the Bronx.
Yeah, I and that's even considering. Like when you go up to the hub, so if you're not from the Bronx,
Right.
the hub is basically 149th Street and 3rd Avenue. That's,
It's a cross section right there.
It's
It's actually
packed.
the second busiest, number 2 to Times Square.
yeah, I believe
So
it.
that's a true fact.
Oh, completely, I believe it.
With
no tourists.
Right,
Hey,
with no tourists,
it's not a
exactly.
single tourist
Not
goes
one,
up there.
exactly. It's all people that live here.
That's right.
All right, so
And
that's a
there's-
lot of people.
And there's everything up here.
Everything.
Like, well, for me, there's like, okay, so Mama's favorite shops are Lola, Denise, Pretty Girl,
Rainbow.
right up the street. 1, 2, 3, boom,
And they're
boom,
all
boom, boom,
there.
boom. And then for the men, there's a bunch of places for
Right,
men.
yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
men's clothes.
You don't have to leave. We don't have to leave this 5-block radius to get everything that we want.
Oh, yeah. correct.
Everything, clothes, shoes,
Yeah.
food, whatever it is, of hardware, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right here.
Right. And so what I was going to say about the hub is that it really, like you just said, I believe that it is the second
It is.
busiest street.
Second busiest.
Because it's packed.
All the time.
Exactly. And it's like 5 streets that are all coming at
Yep.
weird angles.
And the train is there, the subway
Right.
is there, the 2 and the 5.
And it's just it's just packed. But then, like, so you walk, you do your thing, and then there'll be the Muslim brothers chanting and
That's- Yep.
doing whatever they
Right. The prayers.
right there, and then you have the some sort of like black empowerment, and they're screaming about the injustices that have happened over time, but like I walk right in front of them, and they really don't. They're not like yelling at me.
No. I've never had not once, and people, when I first moved here 11 years ago, people were saying, "Oh, the South Bronx, it's a bad
What are you
place and bad."
talking
Well, first of all, people are ignorant. Excuse me, all right, but unfortunately, they hear the stories of back when the Bronx was burning,
Literally.
and that had nothing to do with the people that lived here. That was the landlords.
Yeah.
All right.
So, for people who don't know, the phrase "the Bronx is burning." That actually, who said that? It was like Howard Cosell or something like that.
One of the
It was a
I don't
sportscaster,
remember.
somebody
Was it a
like this.
sportscaster? I wasn't sure. It might have been.
That's where the phrase came from. But there was a time when there was like these construction problems that were going to happen. They didn't happen, and then this economic blight came in, and the landlords realized if they burnt their buildings and collected the insurance, it was more valuable to them.
And they could get rid of the old tenants that they didn't want.
Right.
All right, that was the other
Right.
part. They wanted to get rid of the people that were already living there, so they could get, just like the gentrification, so they could get a new group of people.
But that was like in the 70s.
That
like
was a long time
50 years ago.
But it's stuck to. I mean, it's just now that I've seen in these last 10 years that people are finally getting away from that stigma of the Bronx is burning. There's still when you talk to people that never come here or have never
I
been
don't go to
here,
the Bronx.
they're right. As soon as you say the Bronx,
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's
Is
like,
it safe?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
yeah,
safe.
honey,
It's
crazy safe.
It's more than safe.
Yeah, I feel safer here than
Me too, absolutely. Then Manhattan seems like a foreign country to me now.
Yeah, right.
Manhattan seems just like it is nothing. And again, we speak of a time when there's really no way to describe it to you. All right, you had to be here. And there's
Right.
only people like us who were here.
Right.
And have lived through it and experienced it, that no matter across the boards, no matter where I am, the conversation comes up, and people that have lived here and experienced it everybody is the same, sad that it's gone.
Oh yeah.
So
it was
sad.
gritty, right? There was crime. There was
I mean, 42nd Street wasn't Disneyland.
right. There was like the strip clubs, like
Come on,
all
it
the
was-
peep shows.
It was the place you came to be a little risky, all right?
Exactly.
To be, when
Sin,
you were
like,
a teenager, you
the
went
real
there.
Sin City.
Yeah. To experience things, that you wouldn't experience in the suburbs.
Oh, no way.
All right.
Absolutely. And it toughened you up, too.
It toughened you up.
And you learn, you walk different.
Absolutely.
It
was a totally different scene.
You had swagger.
And there was a soul.
Lower East Side. Lower East Side.
What about Bleecker and all the other spots?
Oh, well, of course, like the whole Bleecker Street
Right.
strip going all the way down to
All the way.
CBGB's, and then
Come on.
from
You
CB's
can-
all the way.
And you used to be able to walk around and you would see people like us.
Right.
Trans, gay, whatever it is. All right, and we were welcome there.
Right.
All right, there was a common thread, and whether we knew each other or we didn't know each other, everybody was cool.
Right.
What happened to that? Well,
So so this is what I want to say is maybe I can't actually speak to that village portion of it because I go down there and because I'm still involved,
right.
or for many years I was involved with the Village Underground, Fat Black Pussycat,
Right.
Comedy Cell, whatever. I and the Cafe Wa and the Groove and like all these places. When I go down and I walk around, it's that little section is always like going home.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Where I know everybody's very accepting.
Yeah.
And then and then for us, we can always head over to the Christopher Street,
Right.
which is becoming a little bit more like too commercial now.
I think so.
It's
Last
wicked
time
commercial.
I was there, it wasn't so great. It was very commercial.
Yeah,
I mean, and even up close to like Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen. I mean, the fact that people still even call it that. It doesn't even
Hell's
look
Kitchen?
like Hell's Kitchen.
It's not Hell's Kitchen.
It's like
Hell's Kitchen used to be tough. That's where you used to go
be
find the
really tough.
That's where you found the hookers.
And that's where hey, even just going west 8th Avenue, 9th Avenue, 10th Avenue.
Yeah, those were like tough areas.
The hookers were all there.
Now we took over.
Now that's right.
46th Street. Woo! And you got like Don't Tell Mamas. The fact that Don't Tell Mamas is I'm still broadcasting. I just seem to have like
You lost something there. Thank God for Nikki knowing this stuff because
I barely.
if it was just me,
Well, fortunately,
we wouldn't be seeing anything.
Well, we're still recording, and
You'd probably be hearing me cursing.
Son of a. Oh, look, oh my God! We had all these people watching.
All right.
Oh, maybe I can refresh. Did I drop out? I don't think.
I don't know.
It doesn't look like I dropped out, so maybe just trying to catch up.
Well, we're happy to have you all here.
Oh, the Pyramid. Dawn. Yes, the Pyramid Club.
Come on. What about the Kamikaze Club, Dawn? You remember that? What about Area?
Right. That whole
The
area.
Sound Factory? Well, Sound Factory was up.
Yes.
Sound Factory was over in Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
All right, but on the west, all the way on the west side when nobody was there.
23rd?
No, it was farther. Wasn't it farther up?
I seem to remember being like 23rd or like 17th or 23rd.
I have to find. I had a solo show
Sound
there.
At the Sound
At
Factory?
it was huge. Remember all the floors? All the huge floors.
Right.
All right. My thing was on the 3rd floor. They built me beautiful pedestals that were behind the bar.
Back when like clubs were so cool.
Oh my God! Not to mention they were raking in the money there, like big time. That was a great spot.
That was so.
I thought it was up higher though. In the 30s, 30. Maybe you're probably right. I have to look for the card, and then we're gonna know. I have to look for the invitation.
I thought it was like 23rd Street.
You know what? I'm very bad at remembering.
No,
things
it would not have been 23rd. It would have been like 25th. It was like
it was up a little. It was farther than 20th. I think it was up a little more from 23rd.
So.
But the pyramid, of course.
Wait a minute. And Dawn, you're saying that you were scared of us folks? I don't think.
Well,
why?
That's not the first time people have referred to me as scary, but.
Well, okay, you are. you are a tough. I can see you being like a tough bastard, and plus, you got that Italian swagger.
Yeah. But if I could tell you that I've never been in an actual physical a fist
Really?
fight with
Even
anyone
running
in
the
my
clubs?
entire life.
Really?
Not once. Not once.
Oh my goodness! I sadly.
I mean, they've been in front of it's been happening, but
right.
I never came to blows with anybody. And I don't know if it was because of my demeanor that nobody took a swipe at me, or what it was. And in the club business, when people used to go, I'm going to call the police, I used to say, here, use my phone.
That's right. Call them now.
You want to call? Because people think that's going to intimidate you and scare you when you're a club manager. They're my friends. You want?
Yeah, I know them pretty well.
Okay.
At
they
this
like
time,
me.
It's Eric on the
636. Yeah. Here, he'll recognize my number. Use my phone. So, but I don't know. It's funny how I've had that reputation all my life, and it's not because I was ever in a fight. I've never been in a physical.
You got swagger.
Fight. You know what? It's something that I've. Even though I've never been in a fight, I don't downplay it. I don't downplay my scary. I'm proud.
Own it.
I wear my scary.
Own it. Own it.
If you're gonna be afraid of me.
No, okay. So the worst bar fight I was in, and there was a couple, but the worst one that happened to me, there was a time in the cafe when there was like literally 30 people like in the stairwell. But that's another story. I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But there was one
They're always
at the okay, so here's the thing, right? I was at the Kettle of Fish. I was running the Kettle of Fish. Not the Kettle of Fish. Fat Black Pussycat, right? And it was like literally 3:55 a.m., right? 5 minutes to closing. 5 minutes. Like the night was cool, smooth, whatever.
It's always at the end.
Right?
It's always at the end.
So I come walking around the side of the bar, and John, I hope you get to hear this. So I'm walking, I come around the side of the bar, and then I see my young, new, stupid bouncer getting into it with this other man, right?
The dumb ones don't know. They're supposed to diffuse the situation, not add to it.
Exactly. So he pushed this guy. The guy goes backwards over a table. He puts his hand out, and he comes back up. Now he's got a cane in his hand.
Oh!
So now he's got, like, a weapon.
He's got a weapon, yeah.
Right. So I'm like, okay, this situation really got bad.
Yeah, it gets bad quick.
Yeah. So this all happened like in a heartbeat.
It gets bad quick.
So I start moving straight to it, and the guy starts to swing, and I just managed to catch that cane and put it under. Now, this is a big brother.
Yeah.
Right?
So the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Well, yeah, and so, I was like, no way the only way I could do this is to use his weight against him.
Yeah, well then.
So I held, whatever I did, I was not going to let go of that cane.
Well, of the cane, yeah.
So he's holding on to it.
You can get him off his pins.
Right. He's holding it, I'm holding it. So because I'm shorter, I get down deep underneath, and I get under his center of gravity, and I push him like 20 feet to the end of the bar.
Oh, yeah, you got him.
I got him almost out to the door.
That's somebody. Where you want them.
Oh, yeah, I was almost there. And then, something was happening behind me, so he lets go to go punch the person behind me. I let go to hook his arm. He takes his free other hand now.
Boom.
Boom. I'm down on the ground. Big shiner.
That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah. Big, but so, like you're talking about, how these things happen so fast.
They happen fast.
Literally the second I fell down, at this time, this is when the Fat Black Pussycat and was in the Village Underground was so there was 10 security on.
Right.
They were
running.
They came right after me
Right.
like linemen.
Right. And that's what they do. That's a mistake too when they do that.
Well,
when they come running and charging.
Well, it's because I don't blame them because it was a situation that was happening.
Right. Yeah, but they don't look at the situation. They just jump into it.
Well, yeah.
You
Sometimes, though, you can read, you can just say, at least I think that, something you read, this is stupid, push everybody out the door.
Right,
I think that's what they wanted.
That's what they were trying to do, yeah.
To just get him out the door. Get him out on the street.
Not like I said, I wasn't throwing punches, but I've been in those situations where we had to get him out.
My favorite bouncer, by the way, Big Steve, if you're listening to this, I love you. You're my favorite bouncer. But the other one, my second favorite is Mel.
Okay.
Right? This is this guy Mel, who used to work. He still works there. Right? I just saw him the other day. He's lost a little bit of weight, but he's still really big. Right?
You want him big.
Yeah. And I don't think his knees were so good. But I never saw him throw a punch.
Because that's really what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to.
Right. He would say, his tactic was always, come on, buddy.
Yeah, come on. But that's always
you
better.
Yeah.
You know, anger begets anger. Aggression begets aggression.
That's right.
If you're going to come at it
It's
that
all about
way,
taking
it's
the
all about
wind out of the sails.
Yeah. And I've seen too many situations where with bouncers that were not experienced that caused more damage. And
Yeah, they're the worst. They
and
start the fight. Like, what are you doing?
When I was running a place in South Jersey, and this is in the 80s.
Right. Wow.
And we were having, this place was called Razzles. I was the assistant manager.
Okay.
All right. And in that strip down in South Jersey, I don't know if any of you people know that, Seaside Heights, there's all clubs. All right.
Where's Seaside Heights in relation to like?
Seaside Heights is like an hour north of Atlantic City.
So after.
So from
Asbury
here,
Park,
it's about an hour. Right. Exactly.
So it's like right in the middle between
exactly.
Asbury Park
Exactly.
My favorite.
So, and at the time, you're talking about the early 80s, you know, all the clubs were trying to get, it's the summertime, they're trying to get all the customers to come in. So each club was having like these shot wars. Like first it was dollar shots, then they were doing, then the next guy was doing 75-cent shots, then the next guy
Basically
was doing $50, right?
Away.
Then 25, exactly.
And people are getting stupid.
And people, right? Exactly. And it was just like, we had a lot of these young bouncers that didn't know, you know, they never did the job before. They were big.
Right.
So we hired.
Right. Yeah, okay.
All right. They were big. All right. And they used to do that, what you were saying, that reminded me of that. They used to come running.
Right.
Into the situation, you know, knocking tables, knocking people, when it would, a nice hand on the shoulder and, hey buddy, can we talk about it this
Yeah.
way? Come with me. Let me talk to you. You know, would have saved a lot of grief.
So, did you watch, was it Patrick Swayze Roadhouse?
Of course.
1,000 times,
Come
right?
on. He's great.
And he's right on.
He's totally right. I was thinking of that movie too.
Be nice.
Be nice.
When will we know?
No,
I'll tell you.
When to be nice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, we lost Dawn.
Oh, no.
All right. I'm not certain if we're actually still streaming because I think it might, but it looks like I should be. I don't know. Anyway,
another great movie with Patrick Swayze that as it's trans you got to watch. And you know what it is, and they all should have won awards.
Fu.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the movie's
best.
great.
But Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, and they all should have won awards.
And they nailed it.
They nailed it like beyond. Patrick Swayze was unbelievable. Even Wesley Snipes.
Well, you know, Wesley Snipes, they were all really good.
They were all amazing. And John, I always say his last name wrong.
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo. He's a big Bronx. He comes to the Bronx a lot.
He's an amazing talent.
He's amazing. I saw his one-man Broadway
Singularly
show.
amazing.
Like it was a couple of years ago. Something for geography for stupid people or something that it was called. He was amazing. He's amazing. I think, and they were all great. They all should have got awards. I think they should give them award now for that movie. I don't care.
I agree with you.
They were great. Even
that
Wesley Snipes with his muscles and the whole thing with the skirts and he was great.
Well, okay, so now that's actually, it's interesting because that's sort of so Tu Wong Fu, right?
And that scene is in they're at Webster Hall.
Right,
and they're giving away, and that was Webster Hall.
Yeah,
they filmed it there for sure.
But so they were not really trans. Then.
No, they weren't trans.
They were more drag.
They were drag. But you did remember the scene where they're in the car and they're saying you're just a Latin boy in a dress.
Right.
And Wesley Snipes goes through the whole: if you're a straight man, and you like to dress in women's clothes, you're what did he say? You're trans.
Vestite.
Transvestite.
Which, oh my God, we haven't used that word forever.
We haven't used that forever. And then he says, but if you're a gay man with just too much class or too much style for one gender, you're transsexual, which they don't use that term anymore either.
Yes, correct.
They don't use that term. And then, like they were saying to John, you know, and you're just, you know, you haven't reached that point yet. You're just a Latin boy in a dress. And he wasn't having that. She wasn't having that. But I thought they were all. It's not even a long movie. It's only like an hour. An hour and 50 minutes. Yeah, it's not that long.
I do remember it's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Like I think I saw it.
I watched it again just like a couple of weeks ago because I just had to.
We need to have a viewing.
We do, because I was blown away by all their performances.
No,
I just thought it was amazing.
And they were fully vested in the characters.
Totally. You're gonna tell me that you knew that was Patrick Swayze? Not one for 1 second.
Right.
Did I see him as a man? Not one in that whole movie.
So another character that was it Hairspray?
Hairspray, yes.
John Travolta in that movie.
Yeah, but I was really because I love the original one.
Ah, well.
I really didn't. I thought he wasn't that good. Travolta. We gotta stop doing our movie reviews on here, though.
I see what I told you.
Nobody's gonna watch us anymore if we keep doing it.
But the only reason I bring up Travolta is because he's so. This time it's related, right?
Right,
because we're actually talking about like LGBT characters in movies. You didn't like Travolta in?
I just thought he was not realistic enough for me. I just didn't.
I think he was playing campy. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe again I'm just so that I really love the original one, you know, and I didn't see the point of them. I don't like that. I don't like when they take a really good movie and they redo it a million freaking times. I mean, how many times are they going to do A Star Is Born? I just want to know.
Bob,
how many stars are going to be born?
Apparently not enough. But you know, it's like an old jazz song. There's an old joke like, how many jazz singers does it take to sing My Funny Valentine? Yeah. Apparently all of them.
All of them. But you like John Travolta in Hairspray?
He didn't offend me. Right?
Yeah.
I thought he did. Okay. And
I just kept seeing him.
If I had not known it was really, because like I would not have known it was John Travolta. By the way, I'm really sorry. Like you know what? I went super Italian and I killed that garlic before. I ate like 3 cloves before.
Well, I'm lucky we're not doing anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
We might be in a little trouble.
There's a prophylactic.
There might be, right. There might be a little trouble there.
Oh, snap. I was going to bring something up.
I know, and I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No. It's okay. All right. I forgot.
Okay. We have to do the movie. That we have to do a reviewing of the movie or something. Something like that.
We really should do some movie, like showing, like viewing parties.
That's a really good idea. If we can ever get out of this lockdown, we're gonna get out of it.
You know what? Oh, so you know what's? I heard that somebody else is doing. Like somebody in Germany came up with this idea, and they're doing it. They're having like these outdoor raves, but you have to be in your car, so it's like a drive-in rave.
That's pretty funny.
So they set up this big, massive sound system. Everybody drives down, and they're in their car. They're honking their horns.
Yeah, but if they're doing the drugs that they do in those raves, we don't want to be driving.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to be in that.
I don't know how you would sit in your car. From what I remember, being back in the day.
Come on, you were up moving.
Yeah, that was the whole point, right?
Yeah, that was the whole point.
Like we were. Did you go out raving?
I didn't. I had the parties. I only had a few because we didn't like them at the club because they all got out of hand.
Right.
And they were mostly underage.
Yeah, underage, and they're not buying. They're drinking water.
No. And when I had money. One, right, no money. You're making no money. So then I used to charge a lot for the rental fees, which would cover all of that.
Right.
But the damage that they did, I mean, I had these kids defecating.
Really?
All over the place. I mean, they're in a K-hole. Who does that anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, I never understood that drug. I'm not. If anybody likes it, good for them. That's great. But I can't imagine why you would want to take a drug that just tranquilizes you.
Right.
I mean, it just they didn't move. They didn't dance. They didn't do anything. They were just totally like zombies.
No. Really?
It's like zombies.
at
one
these
of these,
raves.
yeah. The other ones, they were jumping all over the place with the glow sticks and blah blah.
Because
blah.
I got really lucky, right? So many moons ago, I was choreographing for Irene Cara.
Oh,
Fame, I want
yeah. Hey, come on.
You know, and
Great song.
yeah, and
Good
Flash.
movie, too.
What a feeling. Yeah. She's a wonderful woman, wonderful person, and we ended up by going to. We toured all over England.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and so we went to Manchester.
Oh, very nice.
Was it Manchester? Yeah, it was Manchester. So while we were there, I had the opportunity to go, like, and this is 93, 92, like back when those raves were just sort of like
Yeah, they
starting
were just
to happen.
starting. Yeah.
And we danced and partied all night,
Right.
like till the sun came up. It was like,
Well, yeah, because then you're doing ecstasy, and that's.
really?
I'm not squealing on her. It was a long time ago.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
But it was back when it was good.
Yeah, it was back when it was good.
When it
Exactly.
gave you energy and you rearranged the furniture.
And you didn't drink alcohol. You just wanted water.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah, and you wanted to
Right?
sweat it out.
And you wanted and you loved everyone.
Oh,
there was
yeah.
no one that you didn't love. Everyone
This-
you loved. Yeah, everyone loved everyone. And there was no anger anywhere. There was no right.
No,
It was
no,
so-
never. On ecstasy?
Oh no.
Literally, it's the right name for the drug.
Oh, absolutely. Too bad it messes up your nervous system very badly.
I thought that the first batch of ecstasy. So when I first tried ecstasy in like '85.
Oh no, I didn't try it until the early '90s.
Okay, so I think by then they were starting. So what they used to do is because it's completely manufactured drug.
Yeah, it's totally. Yeah.
So they would make it, and then the government would say,
it's
"Oh,
living through chemicals.
right, better living." Through.
Yeah.
So they would say, "Oh, this formulation
Right.
is illegal," so they would change it.
Yeah.
Change it. And that's the Bronx.
Yes. That sounded like it was in our house, though.
It did.
Excuse me.
So, anywho, we were talking about ecstasy. So, kids, don't do drugs. Take it from Mama Nikki. You don't want to. And there's nothing good that ever comes out of it. And you've only got so much time and so much life to do that there are better things to do with your time. But if you're like me, drink lots of coffee. That's how Mama Nikki gets through the day. So
Somebody screaming. Maybe you have a gentleman suitor screaming at you from the window.
Who the fuck knows?
That-
Quite
that-
possibly.
that's trying to get a date with you or something. You never know.
Yes. I wish. This is what I get.
Yeah. Well,
This is what I get.
it's like Rapunzel.
So-
and,
Okay. So here's like a definite like opposite sides of the spectrum. I get lots of dick pics.
Oh.
And if you're watching this, please don't send me a picture of your genitalia. I don't want to see it. And it will cause me to block you on everything.
Because what is that about?
I don't know. So,
I mean,
Do-
even Jeff
oh,
Bezos
on
was
yours-
sending the dick pics through the
Was he
girlfriend.
really?
Yeah, that's how
really?
that's how the wife found out.
Ew.
Yeah, I know.
Guy's a trillionaire. He's going to be a trillionaire now.
Poor guy. I feel bad for him.
Yeah. Well, because, the coronavirus is like...
Have you
his-
noticed the trucks driving around here? Have you noticed the Prime?
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what somebody said on one of the posts. Look who got the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos, a trillionaire.
Yeah.
He got the money. You see them? They're in the morning. You can
They're
see the trucks.
everywhere. That's all people do is they order on Amazon.
But they're like a whole
A
fleet
fleet. Yeah.
right here.
Well, they started out by...
Yeah, but why are they right here? Because of that one Fed. Why are they right here?
Oh, I think because of this area.
Right,
so,
right.
You've got that hub.
Well,
you got the
Fresh
FedEx.
Direct took over such a large.
You got the Fresh Direct. You've got the
portion of
FedEx. So we're in the South Bronx in the Port Morris section, which is super industrial.
And we want to keep it that way, by the way.
Yes, 100%.
Because if we don't,
Yeah, if we don't, we got no place to go.
yeah, we Yonkers. We're not going there.
Newark.
No. I was born in Newark.
Were you really?
My father grew up in Newark too.
Yeah,
I was born in Newark, New Jersey. That's right.
You said Jersey before, but
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know it was like Newark.
At Newark,
That's-
and my father grew up there. Went to Barringer High. Anybody from Newark or knows anything about Newark? My father went to Barringer High School. Yeah.
This that highway,
21.
yeah, 21 that goes with it takes you like an hour to get through the city.
Because, well, they're
It's
doing a
'cause
lot
it
of
goes
construction. Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, they go
Stop.
doing
Like
plus,
you-
they're doing a lot of gentrification over there too. Now.
In Newark?
In Newark, and Newark is a very, very, a pretty hip city. I mean, especially in the Broad Street area where the Newark Museum is one of the largest museums in the whole state of New Jersey.
In Newark?
In Newark, I did 2 shows there. Not
Really?
my art show. I did my plaster casting workshop there.
Really?
Yeah, it's a beautiful museum too. Beautiful, 3-4 stories. They have like a whole block. It's
That's
a beautiful place. And Branchbrook Park is a beautiful, beautiful place with the cherry blossoms.
I have not spent any time in Newark. Like I've always gone through Newark
Drive through,
only
yeah.
trying to get through to someplace else.
Right. No,
And
it's a pretty big city. It's a pretty and there's a lot of art going on there now too.
really?
Yeah.
Well, you know that whole area, right? Hoboken, Jersey City. It's like keep working its way down.
Right. Well,
And then-
Hoboken was first. I mean, they've
Right.
already done the whole gentrification.
And then there's
there.
so much business that's all in like Secaucus
Yes.
and that whole
Well,
area.
that was a big. That whole all those shops there. Plus, Secaucus is a swamp. I mean,
Well,
you do know that, right?
Yeah.
I lived for a very brief time in the Harmon Cove Towers in Secaucus, and they built it on a swamp.
Did it sink?
Yep. And not only did it sink, but the pillars, the concrete pillars that are holding up the building.
Uh-huh.
All right, and I was on an apartment that was on one of the way top floors, and when it was windy, you literally felt the building swaying. Yes, it was very scary. All right, and I was one of the first people living in that building, and the people that bought early and then sold, they got out of it. But the people that are still there now, they got screwed.
There's people still there?
There's people still there. This concrete,
Pylons, right?
huge,
Right.
all right, came up out of the ground. All the what is that stuff? Not concrete, but what's that other stuff? What they put, the
Tar.
Tar.
Right.
It was all of it. And then anytime it rained, you went down to the parking area. The water was like,
You know you're off camera.
I'm off camera. You can't see me. The water's like up to here.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're almost done, but.
Wait,
And the same thing with the that's all. People still actually, believe it or not, in Secaucus there, around where the stadium is, there's all swamp
Right.
there. People hunt in there.
Really? There's still
They
animals there?
still animals that live in there, and people hunt them.
Really?
Yeah,
The
like
Jersey Devil.
possums and raccoons, stuff like that. Yeah.
Good
it's right,
eating.
yeah. Hey, listen.
Well, they have the Mall of the Americas that's opening up there too right now,
I'm
right?
telling you, they'll put anything out there.
No, not the Mall of the Americas, like the super mall. It just opened. It's like a mall that took like 10 years to build and open up with the indoors.
Yeah, because nobody wants a building. I mean, I don't know how they're putting malls on there, but it's a swamp. Secaucus is the whole swamp.
But land is cheap.
It's very cheap, and if you put a lot of fill, which is what they hope, but it still ends up
Right, keep sinking.
sinking.
Yeah, eventually it'll stop. But like a lot of the companies that we deal with, they do their storages out there.
They're starting, yeah, because who's going to build something? No, after that Secaucus, if there's Harmon Cove Towers, I'm telling you, you can still see them.
Really?
Yeah, you can see them when you're especially if you're coming from 80.
Right.
If you're on 80 there, coming towards New York.
Right.
They're on the right hand. The bill. You see the two big towers.
I don't remember. Like Jersey turned out to me to be a lovely state, which I didn't realize until.
I like South Jersey. The rest of it can drop into the ocean if you.
Well, no, but I mean it's like green. It's like like most people's misconception of Jersey is that it's like all like Newark, right?
Yeah, but it isn't, but the suburbias. I would pick Newark over any of those. I grew up in a suburban area in New Jersey. that was the pits.
Really?
The pits. And not even so far. I mean, it's only 40 minutes from here, from New York. And Parsippany was the name of the town. Is the name of the town, yeah.
Sure.
Morristown area. Morristown is actually
Morristown's very nice.
very beautiful.
There's like a whole scene up there.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
somewhat
My sister
bourgeoisie.
used to live there.
Really?
Yes. But
so my
no.
my my daughter grew up in Tenafly.
Tenafly, okay. Okay, then you know.
Yeah, but it was actually I thought Tenafly was kind of nice and idyllic. You know.
Yeah, I just have a bad. Jersey Shore is my favorite. The rest of Jersey, you can keep it.
Now, when you say Jersey Shore, you're talking about.
I'm talking about Seaside Park. Is a beautiful. Seaside Heights, what I was talking about earlier, is the town right next to Seaside Park. But Seaside Park is a beautiful beach area.
Really?
I mean, it's 2 miles. It's so small. Very, very small. It's
compared to like Asbury Park.
Well, Asbury Park is bigger than Seaside Park, but
I love Asbury Park.
Yeah. Well,
it's a cool beach.
It's a cool beach.
It's got vibe.
It's a big LGBTQ area there too.
Yeah. No, with the
Very
Empress
nice.
Hotel.
Yeah, they're very, very, very nice. But Seaside Park is beautiful. In fact, my family was going there for so many, many years. You used to have to be a resident to get on the beach.
Yeah, well, that's
you had to prove your residency.
Yeah, you probably got like a little sticker you have to put in your car,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Well, a badge. They used to give you little badges.
Okay.
But then they changed that they couldn't stop people from if they were willing to pay for the badge, but they didn't have a house there. They allowed people to go on the beach.
Want the money?
That's what I'm saying. It's still pretty much the same too. It's a beautiful town. It's a beautiful little town. Very, very nice. But the rest of Jersey, I was never, because I grew up in this suburbia and I hated it. I always knew I didn't belong there. It was, there was only all white people.
Yeah.
All right. Really.
Well, okay. So in Tenafly, it's all Jews and Koreans.
Well, a lot of where I grew up in Parsippany, it was a lot.
Yeah,
of
but
Jewish
wait a
people.
minute, not in Newark.
Not Newark, no. Newark's like the Bronx.
Yeah.
There's all different people there.
But definitely where you're talking about, Parsippany?
All white people. We had two African-American kids in high school, and they were twins. That's it, literally.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
2 for 1.
2 for
1. But now, like, you go to Bergenfield, it's all Filipino. It's like all Filipino.
Well, they call Weehawken. What do they call it? They call Weehawken. There's a large Asian community there.
Like I didn't know. I don't disbelieve it.
Yeah.
That's where all the nurses live.
That's where all the nurses live.
Okay, so before we offend anybody else.
Yes, before we do, because we're going to get in trouble here.
So
we love everyone, by the way.
Absolutely.
I mean, we are just talking. It is nothing. We embrace all cultures,
I think
all sexes, all genders.
That was something that we were talking about. That, like, in the old day, or being from New York, you talk about things and you say what it is. Like, you don't have to, like, sugarcoat it.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's this whole generation. They get their feelings hurt so bad.
Oh, so easy.
So quickly.
So easy.
Everybody, grow up. That's what I say.
With that. So,
because we're all grown up.
yeah.
Sort of.
So with that, please, if you are still watching, or
we love you for watching. By the way,
if you see this on the, if you catch this on the podcast and you have any questions, please send them to us. We'd love to answer your questions. And
we would love to answer your questions.
Yes, very much. So tune in next week.
Right.
We'll be posting when we're gonna do this again.
Right.
Soon. Probably on next Tuesday. We'll go back to our regular schedule.
We'll go back to our regular scheduled program.
And do you have any art coming up?
I can. No, everything's been canceled.
Not yet.
But we have plans for doing things that we're going to do.
Oh yeah, for us here, yes.
So we're going to try to pull that off.
Oh, so I'm working with. By the way, on June 4th, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug it because these are my friends.
Plug it. Plug away.
Mobi, MOBI, NYC. We're going to help them produce their virtual Pride.
Big.
What?
Mobi is big.
Mobi NYC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be on June 4th. Go to their website so you can find the links and everything you're going to need to do. But We managed to figure out how to do something for Pride. So to all the organizations that are out there for this season, no, don't let June go by you. Everyone's figuring out how to do something. Even I just got an email from the LGBT Center that they're doing the virtual garden party, which is going to be on like the weekend, on the Monday before.
Right.
So
we're still going to be able to celebrate.
Yeah, that's right.
Even in these circumstances,
we're still here. All right. So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing up.